it ain't about you. Surrendering my goals, my desires, all my ambitions, giving it to the Lord. What do you mean get settled? Who told you that you have tomorrow? Something's got to give. Let me tell you what didn't work. Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Michelle. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another video here on Chats with Michelle. A few years ago, I heard someone say procrastination is arrogance. And that is something that has sat with me forever. As someone who sometimes struggles with procrastination, right? I sometimes struggle with procrastination. As much as I'm such a productive queen, sometimes I'm just like, I don't feel like doing it. I don't want to do it. And basically what they were explaining was that the reason why procrastination is arrogance is because who told you that you have tomorrow? Like literally, for you to keep putting something off, and this is the things we're talking about, like what the Lord is telling you to do, right? That's where we're at. We're here, right? For you to keep putting it off for tomorrow. I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'll do it later. And then you just kind of like never get it done. That's arrogance, because it's like, who's to say that you actually have tomorrow? Because the thing is with procrastination is things just continue to just pile up. They just pile up. And then nothing really ever gets done. And that's kind of where I was like around the second week of February-ish. First or second week of February, where I was just like, okay, something's got to give. I need to get intentional about the things that I'm saying that I want to do, or what I'm saying I believe that the Lord is telling me to do. I'm like, I have to get intentional about that. And that's really where the whole KMP came into about keeping my promise, where I gave myself one promise. So I'm like, okay, there's like the great big grand scheme of things, right? Like, there's like these things that I want to do this quarter. However, what can I do every single day? One thing every day that you can do that can help you get there. So for myself, I had to really just break things down into digestible pieces for every single day, because I would much rather get things done than have a bunch of things on my planner that I have to do and nothing's ever done. It's like, what's the point? What's the point of that? As you know, or if you recall, or if you don't know, let me go ahead and share with you. I pretty much was very intentional this year, saying that I wanted to break this year up into quarters, right? So, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. There's 3 months in each of those quarters, because I think a lot of times we can say that we want to do the things, right? And with wanting to do those things, but there's no actual action items and how you're actually going to actually follow through. So I just wanted to be intentional in that way. And with me saying that, though, if you've been here, you also know that my word for this year is surrender. So as someone who is a productivity queen, who likes to be productive and busy and doing all the things, I felt really felt like the Lord placed on my heart that I need to surrender. So in wanting to do all the things, surrendering my goals, my desires, all my ambitions, giving it to the Lord, not because I believe that God thinks that ambition, all those things is a bad thing, but more rather it's through him that I can do all those things and not like through my own works and things like that. So the very first thing, starting right off, is me having to quite literally slow down. And I had to make the decision to pace myself. And this revelation, if you will, came from a call that I had with a mentor. So I recently went through a whole lot of life changes, a lot of really big life changes. And I just had a lot going on. So much happened. And as I was sharing, my goals and the things that I wanted to do and what I felt like the Lord was telling me to do and all the things, her advice to me was, Michelle, yeah, you got a lot going on. I think the very first thing that you should do in this first quarter is literally get settled. What do you mean get settled? I'm like, to me, that felt like I wasn't going to be doing enough. Like I wasn't doing enough. Like, what do you mean to just get settled and whatever? And that for me, it was really hard. It was a really hard pill to swallow, but I'm here to announce, I did take heed to that advice. So now that I am settled, or I focused on settling, I was able to keep my promises to myself. One of those goals being that I wanted to read 2 books a quarter. I am not your avid reader. I'm more of an audiobook girl. I love a good audiobook, but actually physically opening up a book, it's like a challenge because I really haven't like read for real in a few years now. I'm really proud of myself that I was able to keep that promise to myself, but that was because I just decided to pace myself. I didn't make it a thing to just like go really, really fast and try to do all the things at once, because now that I've kept, those different promises to myself in this first quarter, it really sets me up for the second quarter. As a recovering perfectionist, I have come to realize that everything does not have to be perfect. However, I do believe there's always room for improvement, though. Spoken like a true perfectionist. No, but in all seriousness, like, everything does not have to be perfect, but there can be room for improvement. So that's one of the things that I am focused on going into the next quarter. It's more so of like, okay, what worked, what didn't work, this, that. Let me tell you what didn't work. As I'm talking about all the things, let's talk about what didn't work. What didn't work for me is I'm not even, I think I shared a video about like how I'm not a 4 a.m. girly. Like, I'm not a 4 a.m. girly. I'm not a 5 a.m. girly. And I was trying to do the 5:30 thing. I don't think I'm a 5:30 a.m. girly either. I said, girl, you might just have to get up at 6, because I am more of like a 6:30 a.m. girly. I could do the 6 o'clock thing, and I'm like, Michelle, and maybe that's what it is, because what was happening was I was being so inconsistent. One day I'd get up at 5:30, the other day I wouldn't. The next thing you know, I'm getting up at 7 because I'm like snoozing too long, and I'm just like, Michelle, that's an improvement that can be made. Stop trying to force it. That's just not you. That's just not you. Like, or at least not in this season. That is not you, and that's okay. Just because everybody else got their 5 a.m. routines, good for them. That's not my ministry. But in speaking about perfectionism, that brings me to a video that I recently watched about perfectionism. And what do you know? I'm pretty sure you're not surprised. I was so convicted. Like, when she was saying it, and I'll be sure to link the video in the description box below, because I think it's such a great video. She did such a great job. And it was really convicting to me, because it really made me look face to face with like the idolatry. That sounds like such a churchy word, but like, of perfectionism, and how it can really stumble you, or make you stumble, or like halt from doing the thing that the Lord has called you to do. And I'll share in my own life, right? So this is one of the things, right? I mean, I feel like the Lord's like, Michelle, I just need you to say these things, share what I'm teaching you, what have I taught you, what you're learning, etc. And just, literally turn the camera on. And for the longest time, I mean, different things have happened, but like for the longest time, I think my biggest block was that it wasn't like perfect. Like, the videos weren't going to be perfect. It didn't look perfect. How many times can I say perfect? But like, there was a bit of shame there, if I were to be honest, because I'm someone who works in like the content creation space. So it was like, I found myself comparing myself to others, like, oh, well, like my video doesn't look like this, or I don't have this, or I don't have that. And like, no, it just doesn't look absolutely perfect, so I can't do it. And just having a sense of like shame. And like, I was reminded, and even like in the video that I watched, about like, it ain't about you. It's about what I told you to do, but it ain't about you, because even the thing that I'm telling you to do is not about you. It's not for you. Yeah, I'm teaching you, I'm pruning you, I'm showing you the things, I'm doing all the things, but it's not about you. So stop making it about you. Girl, you're thinking about yourself too much. Get over it. And I'm learning to just get over it. Easier said than done. Listen, I know, like, it's easier said than done, and I'm working on it every single day, because I still have these intruding thoughts at times. But like, I just want to encourage you. Like, what's the thing? What's the thing that the Lord has told you to do, but you are just trying to make it so perfect? So perfect. And it don't have to be this. It don't have to be sitting on camera, making videos. Listen, this ain't everybody's calling. This ain't everybody's ministry. And I understand that. I recognize that. But for you, it could be whatever, I don't know, whatever that thing is. And you know what that is for you. And you know that you're not doing it because you want it to be absolutely perfect. You want it to like do everything. And sometimes, most times, we just have to start, and we'll get better with time. You'll literally get better with time. But it's realizing and reminding yourself, like, listen, the assignment that the Lord has for us on this earth oftentimes is never for us. It's always for someone else. It's always for someone else. That girl who made that video, because she was talking about obedience and the whole thing, it's like, it wasn't for her. It was for me at that time, and whoever else saw it, maybe you if you watched the video. But it's like, it's not about you. So stop thinking it's about you, and stop feeling like it has to be perfect and it has to be this whole like aesthetic type thing. And you know, like, oh my gosh, I'm so guilty of that because I like things to look nice. And she even shared that in the video about, like, you know, I do believe that there is something to be said about excellence, because I do believe that the Lord honors excellence. So it's not about showing, you know, doing things half and like not doing your best, because ultimately, you know, you want to be a representation of Christ, but that representation doesn't have to be perfect. It can be a person who's in progression and who's quite literally just being obedient. I truly believe, because that has been one of the testimonies of my life, the testament of my life, that God honors obedience. He honors it. The way he honors it is up to him, but just know that he honors it. So to wrap this all up in a bow and kind of like just give you a little bit of a synopsis of what I'm looking forward to in the second quarter, I do have some things that are going to push me a little bit more. I'm going to really have to be focused on that. So my ultimate goal in this next quarter is to just get more organized, right? Get more organized and really just lay out what those KMPs are, I think weekly. So what I was doing, I feel like I was doing it daily, right? Like, okay, like what's the KMP going to be today? KMP, if you don't remember, is keeping my promise. What promise am I going to keep for myself today? So one of the things that I want to do, maybe I'll do it like on the weekend. I'm not sure yet, but like I want to have my KMPs set out for each week so that I know going into each week, this is exactly what it is that I need to do to reach this ultimate goal at the end of the quarter. So that's essentially my biggest carrot for the second quarter that I think that would really set me up well to get the things done. And I encourage you to do the same. Listen, what can you work on? What are some KMPs that you can accomplish in your day, right? Like I said, we always do everything for everyone else, and that's okay. That's a good thing, and we should do it well. At the same time, how can you keep your promise to yourself of the things that you believe the Lord is sharing with you? And I want to say, which is really nice, and I don't know if she'll see this, but someone recently told me that the KMP philosophy that I came up with was actually very helpful. So that makes me feel really, really glad. You know, that makes me feel really good. So I'm so glad that was helpful, and I hope that it can help you as well. Listen, it's really, really been helping me, because when I remember that like I have to keep that promise, it like convicts me every single day when I see it on my planner. I'm like, oh, I gotta keep the promise. I gotta keep the promise because I want to be a good promise keeper, you know? So anyways, with that being said, that's the video. Thanks so much for watching. Listen, if you found this video valuable, consider sharing it with someone who may also find this video valuable. And while you're at it, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, because listen, we've got so much to chat about. Bye.